It's been a hot minute since we last played, which means that we're going to have to kind of take a step back and kind of readjust where we're at. It has been weeks game time where you've gone from Port Nerons. Here, let me kind of draw this stuff. You went from Port Nerons, where you met up with Belaine Silverhand, went down through, around here is about where you encounter that T-Rex, went through even more, hit Camp Righteousness, plundered the treasures within, and then found yourselves at Camp Vengeance, which is where you're currently at right now. Seeing how there was going to be a large undead force moving in there, you helped out with the defenses and were integral to having the base be not overrun by more intelligent dead, who you figured out were Krieger and Parker, the two whites. You managed to subdue Krieger, get some information out of him. The bodies are being burned. Precipitation in the atmosphere is coming down. There's kind of a lull. Everybody's got those post-battle jitters, move into like a general sense of malaise. So everybody's moving a little bit sluggish. Thanks to clever thinking, they have food and water that they're able to replenish their strength with. So we sit in Camp Righteousness, Camp Vengeance, as we're observing everything that's going along. Who would like to go first and talk about, from their character's perspective, everything that's going on? And this serves two purposes. One, it realigns everything that's important to you, and then also gives a overview from your character's eyes on what you feel is important.
It's been a couple of weeks traveling with this new crew, people that I've met up with a couple times, fought with now. They've saved me, I've saved them. Seem like good people. The last of us is what it seems like. The last strong ones coming here to this place, going through the traps of Camp Righteousness, and that seems silly, but at the same time, the end worked out because that pot will help us out in the end. Showing up here, seeing the just devastation on everybody's face, we're gonna die. This is nothing. To me, even feeling that I felt that there was nothing that could be done here. And then buckling down, listening to what the sisters said to me, not just that, but listening to the camaraderie was just the little bits that we were able to help out with the food. It made me feel something inside. I'm so happy to be able to bring that light in this darkness. And it revealed the fact that when we fought Krieger and his demon self, it just proved to me that what we're doing is right, and what we need is to follow that path to Horus.
Good job.
Thank you.
As I look around and see the devastation that has happened over the last how many weeks, not knowing what this venture entailed, I knew that I had to find Alara. I knew something was wrong. I had no idea it was this bad. And I thought foolishly that I might be able to do this on my own. But now that I see I need help from the people that surround me right now, they have aligned goals, seem to be capable of protecting each other, and I find myself in comfort knowing that we have each other's backs. And the information that we've uncovered with all the different evil entities and the names we were given and a location of Alara, and I'm confident that our little band of brothers can see this through, help each other through our quests. And I really wish that we could each complete our quest, each find what we're seeking. And I am confident. I am more confident as we spend more time together. And I feel like the bond is growing, and I'm grateful. And I just want to help each one of them, each one of you, as hopefully you will help me. And I just give thanks.
Well said, both of you.
Yeah.
All right, I'll follow that up. When we started this, I had my own motivations, what I was doing, what I was looking for, why I was doing it. And from our first encounter, the T-Rex, I saw both bravery and fear. It didn't really register with me at the time, in the moment of everything going on. Even afterward, when we were sailing down the river, it didn't really sink in. I think it was after our exploits at the tunnel where some of us, or sorry, not the tunnel, the Sphinx thing, the man-bear cave, where some of us received some serious wounds. But through that, we did find a treasure, right? So we ourselves became that which I often saying about. We ourselves became part of history, became part of what will be legend. And so it was kind of a twofold where the suddenness of what's going on here with the T-Rex battle, and then the dangers fraught with that area, and then finding the treasure, it all was kind of like a mixed bag. Still wasn't really sure how I felt about the party. It seemed there were many different personality differences, maybe not all aligning to the same goal. But later, when we went to Camp Vengeance and we saw the despair that the camp was in, and we saw the hopelessness and the fear, and our few was able to not only help that camp turn around, not only get that camp prepared, but we lifted broken and battered spirits. We took these people and we were able to shape them into a force that ultimately was successful against an undead. That's just the word undead, right? This is stuff of legends again. Here we are again, making our own history that songs are going to be about, or exploits with this. We may not think about it at the time. This will eventually come down in legends. So even during that or prior to that battle, I wasn't quite sure how I felt about all in our party, because it seemed some were pretty hot-headed, some were singular focused, and some were openly, I'll do anything to help out. So it's kind of like just so many different varieties, like a big hodgepodge. And I remember thinking, how we're so different, how are we going to be able to succeed, right? That was always in the back of my head. Even during the battle, it was in the back of my head. But then seeing us in these desperate moments, and again, even though there's some selfishness, there's some short tempers, there's some personalities, even in all of that, during that battle, you could see the strength and the bravery and the spirit of those individuals raise up. And it was during that it solidified that I made the right choice, that this group is going to do amazing things. And we will have songs about us. We will have books about us. We will have tales about us, right? But it's not only that, it's just the fact too that we were able to help so many that were hopeless, right? Turn that around. So it felt from the very beginning, it's just a mixed emotions. Is this right? There's a little bit of dread. Even after talking or hearing, was it Krieger? Even after hearing him speak, it put into perspective, we really don't know what we're dealing with here. How many undead there are, how vast this conflict can be, right? So that kind of popped up. But then I remember thinking about the battle and who these companions are, and it kind of brought that fear down. It's still there, because of course the fear of the unknown, everyone's afraid of the unknown to some point, but it's not as high as it was, because I've seen us in battle twice now, and much like Driz said, there's that comfort in knowing that we have each other's backs. And I think at this point, anyone in this party would lay down their life for any other member in this party. So starting out this journey, which was, hesitation, unknown, uncertainty, it's kind of solidified into, steel armor now. And it's given me a little bit more courage, a little bit more determination, and definitely more confidence that we will succeed in our mission, no matter where this takes us.
All right.
Don't forget, you're the one that has to do all that writing, because you're the boss.
Hell yeah. Every time we're sitting down, I'm in the book. I'm writing. Yeah.
For Red, he's on basically the same note everybody else is in terms of everybody developing. His mindset, though, is more tactical. He kind of sees this as like a fire team that's developed its own strategies, and the fact that we were so triumphant against such outstanding odds in this last battle, he feels like he's very much in the right place. He's with like a team that can actually navigate and succeed. So that's kind of his focus in terms of the team. As far as this kind of the recap going through with him, I can't really quote on that, but I did watch everything, so I am tracking what's going on.
I'm just saying that you were out there helping out and burning the bodies because you didn't want them coming back. You're a very mindful person, which is where Captain Breakspine finds you in the midst of like a small group gathering bodies, burning them in the bonfire that Shyla set up. Dread, I don't know how to tell you this, but Hassan, from the reports of our scouts, it seems that he drew them off and headed further into the woods, saving the lives of at least a dozen people, creating the opening to go away. The reports that I'm getting is that him and an albino pelican that came out of nowhere were basically leading these things through a cluster of ruins. And the further back he went in, we lost sight. It's about 2 days travel. It's a little bit further up from Camp Righteous. I don't know what to tell you. That place is swarming with dead. Hopefully he's okay. This is Hassan's plausible explanation for being absent for the rest of the campaign. This is not a loose thread that you need to pull on.
Gotcha.
Thing.
Tracking. Okay, so we're going to recognize that he's skillful and knows how to evade, and will continue on with his quest and meet up with us as necessary. So
yep,
that is, we won't pull on that thread.
I just want to say thank you to you and your group. You proved to be very effective with what was going on. It doesn't seem like we would have fared nearly as well as we did after this. So I don't know what the rest of your plans are, but we could definitely use you here at the fort, maybe get you on some regular patrols.
As much as I value and respect your appreciation and vote of confidence, our company has a mission to complete. And in line with that, I believe we will probably be heading off shortly, as soon as my companions make a decision amongst themselves and amongst ourselves on where to go next. But I believe we've fortified your position here well enough that you should be safe, for at least the time being. I did want to ask, sort of man to man, if you have a minute, about the tenets of your oath, as because we did confirm that he was a Oath of Conquest paladin.
Yeah.
Cool. So that's going to kind of play into development on this guy.
The oath that I took was simple: to bring order to chaos and to govern justly.
And I think from that, during that same time that everybody's out kind of doing the interrogation, that piece, he's going to be kind of developing that I kind of just asking some questions and building that up, because he's developing this conflict in his head on that. So
you guys banter back and forward, and what the main thing that you get from Captain Breakspine is that he operates inside of a strict code and strict rules, and everything that he's doing he feels is the most effective way that he can in order to keep the people that he cares about alive and safe. So he's basically viewing it as he's in charge of all these people, and through his wisdom and application, they will make their part better, which will in turn make everything better for everybody else.
Awesome. So I think that kind of covers what he would be doing during that time period, because he probably would have handled the interrogation a little bit differently. So I think that reveal on him is probably going to lead to a little bit more development over that course of that night, mainly because now that we have like demons and Avernus and all that involved, and his background, that's probably going to start raising some concerns. So see how that plays out.
Is there anything that anybody else is trying to do during this time? It's pretty much, if you guys wanted to take a long rest, I would not fault you at all for it. But also, if there's stuff that you guys want to accomplish before that happens, let me know.
We took a long rest before the end of the last session, did we not?
I don't think so, because everything rolled from one end to the other. You guys were able to take like a short rest and do some healing.
Yeah, I think
because 8 hours would have passed before you guys talked to Krieger, and he would have totally used mind powers to do some stuff.
I think we talked about using the sending stone at some point. So I think
That was going to be in the morning.
yeah. So if we wanted to do our
Tomorrow.
long rest and hit that,
So-
or
I might have an idea on getting a little bit more information on this background. Obviously, I wasn't there to participate in the interrogation. If we do encounter another of his ilk while we are out here, please at least give me an opportunity to speak to him before we decapitate him. It does happen to be my area of expertise. But that being said, I might be able to ask for some more information based off of what he gave us. But let me see what I can do.
So is there anybody that wants to talk to anybody tonight or interact, or are we fast forwarding to tomorrow morning with everybody taking a full long rest?
Hang out with Fred.
All right.
I'm good.
Fred's really happy. He's like super stoked to be going with you guys. He's kind of a lovable ope, but earnest in his efforts.
That's awesome. I'll go have a drink with him. Like bring him, and because I have a feeling we're gonna be leaving pretty soon. So I have a good hurrah with the the boys kind of thing,
Yeah.
I'm gonna go speak to Ursula.
All right. So Jay, you're drinking with Fred and a couple of the guys. A friendly game of like liar's dice breaks out, and they're anting. I think the most that you're going to be able to win is a gold on it. If you want, go ahead and give me just a wisdom check to see how your betting does.
All right. Well, that's a flat roll, so let's go. 19. let's go.
Well, there you
I'm
go.
also looking for coppers. I want a bunch of coppers.
That's perfectly fine. You get one gold piece that you can pretty much split between however many silvers and however many coppers you are looking at. So
All right.
you're good with that.
You understand the reason why, right?
Detect thoughts or
No. Jenna repose, baby. Like,
Yeah.
I want to make sure we have plenty to be able to at least try to save as many people as we can. So, I mean, I'm willing to walk away with 100 pennies. You know what I'm saying?
if you want to do it like that, that's perfectly acceptable. I believe we said the mechanic would be if you got to them in time that they would pretty much it would delay the time that the death curse took effect. So if they were done during that time, they could be resurrected. All right, so Shyla is going to Ursula, whom you find walking around the battlements, checking stuff out. She smiles warmly, her tusk kind of glistening in the moonlight. She makes her way over to you, punches you in the shoulder. Good one today.
Ow, what the hell?
I'm sorry, I didn't realize my strength.
I just wanted to talk, just the two of us, ask you a personal question. I was amazed by your skill in battle, by the way you have that ability to know where you need to be on the battlefield and what needs your focus and your attention. I was blown away by it. So I have to ask Ursula, would you ever consider joining us on our quest? I just can't imagine the amount of success we would have with you at our side. And I understand you have a commitment here. I understand you've made choices that have brought your path to where you're at now. But life is all about choices and all about the paths we take. And it may be unfair, but I want to lay down a new path, a new option for you. It's your choice to take, obviously, of course. And I will respect whatever you decide. But I do want to lay down that path, the option for you to join us. I just having you with us, it's just incalculable of how beneficial that would be, not only to our abilities and our success, but to what we can achieve and how many more we can help. So again, I lay the path at your feet, and I do respect whatever choice you make, but I do have to ask you.
She looks around a little bit and then kind of pulls you off to the side at earshot. Somebody's looking at you too. She catches them a glance and they quickly go back to what they're doing. She leans in. Her words kind of hang as she says this. This isn't normally the way these things are done. And I'm not talking about your offer to join you. In earnest, I appreciate it. I would love nothing more than to go out with you. Unfortunately, a lot of us are here because we're affected by the death curse. Almost everybody here has an expiration date. Some are months in the future, some are mere weeks. What we get is a chance, working together, to advance the entire civilization of Chult forward. And while I can't be there swinging my sword with you on the battlefield, know, my friend, that I'm there in spirit. And even if this takes a while for you to affect, hopefully I'll be around to see that. Do you catch what I'm saying?
I look down, kind of disappointed by the answer, but not surprised. And I look back up at her and I just nod. I don't say any words, I just nod because I do understand. And it was her choice to make. And with that, I return the punch to the shoulder and say, I just thought I would give it an ask.
So consolation prize will take a sonnet. She chuckles.
Sonnet.
I don't know if anything that rhymes with Ursula, so.
What does rhyme with Ursula?
As you're sitting there racking your brain, she's like, see? Now I hear that there's a couple of people that you know that are getting up to some drinking and some gaming. So let's put this sad talk behind us and go carousing.
Let's go get a drink.
Yeah, as you two walk into the tent, you see Zarian counting all of his winnings in pennies.
Oh, yeah?
Everybody's just like, I can't believe it.
We
It
saved
was
them,
just a
and then it
friendly
takes all the
wager.
money.
I'm counting them in twos.
Is there anything that Driz or Dread is doing?
So with Dread, is there any way I could do some sort of check to see if any of the information from the, because I figured that I got the download, but if I know the name Asmodeus, if any of that rings a bell a little bit more for me than it may have for them based on my background.
You know, he is a major player in the Nine Hells. He is like one of the major devils or demons, and he's definitely a shot caller.
So just to kind of recap, my understanding is he's involved in this from a oversight level, or is this being done without his knowledge?
You would think that he would know what's going on.
All right.
He's very much. Give me a religion check. I'll tell you how much you know once you give me that roll.
I'm just curious. If I'm recanting this to him, could
Sorry.
I also help with my religion? If I'm the one
7.
talking to him about
you know
it?
what?
Just curious.
I should have announced this ahead of time, but I'd be able to use luck on that one.
Yeah, go for it if you want to use luck. And then do you want to try to give him advantage, or do you want to roll your own, Jay?
I think I will actually. I'll just say it. I'll do it myself.
Okay.
You can do yours, and I'll do mine.
All right. Yeah.
17 for me, sir.
All right.
And
some
I'm
reason
not doing well on that one today.
All right. So as you two are racking your brains, you're like, what would one of the big major devils be doing? And then Zarian, you cue into the fact that a lot of the currency in hell is souls. Souls are minted into coins, which are used as currency. And right now, with the Soulmonger, there's no souls going to Avernus. So there's no souls going to hell, which means they're not printing any more money.
So what I'm going to do with that information is that night, while everybody's out gallivanting and such, Dred's going to do his long rest, via trance anyways, because he doesn't really sleep. And then he's going to, once everybody's kind of died down, that early morning piece, he's going to venture out to just the edge of the light from the camp to where the shadows kind of die down. He's going to basically kind of put a call out to his patron, or to kind of just I want to speak with you at some point type thing for the end of the evening, and he'll wait, understanding that sometimes it takes a while for him to get a response, but he at least just kind of sends that flare out based on that information, and then returns to his party once dawn breaks and everybody starts moving his round, or that's what he's holding that action for.
All right. Is Driz doing anything?
Yeah, actually, Driz would like to find Quasha and have just a conversation with him.
Kawasha's rubbing some ointment on his swollen body from that Grillion trying to pull him in half like Stretch Armstrong. He sees you and smiles. It's like, I see what you did with the goats.
Yes, I couldn't leave those little guys in the pen. They just wanted to be free, grazing the grass. Don't we all?
They have been through a lot, truly.
Indeed. Hey, I wanted to talk to you. We really haven't had a whole lot of opportunities. I'm curious about something. Do you happen to know Alana? Do you happen to know her? You know I'm looking for her, right?
You talk about this woman that helped mold you like mud into clay. I do not know of her by name, but I know of her by reputation. She's very well respected, very sought out for her wisdom. When the death curse happened, she was one of the first ones to volunteer and use her magic and her ways to scout ahead. We have not heard from her expedition in a while. It seems that they were being tracked through the jungle by a force of Yuan-Ti.
Yuan-Ti?
Yes.
Yeah, interesting.
Are you familiar with these Yuan-Ti?
I am not. What's an Yuan-Ti?
Yuan-Ti are snake people. They
Rosny.
are old to Cholts. They come in different variations. Some look almost human. You can barely see the shimmer of the scales and the slits in the eyes. Those are the ones that they use to infiltrate society. And then it goes all the way to snake-headed ones and ones with the lower body. And some of them just have arms for snakes.
These are not
are very territorial. They seek to claim these lands.
What is it that you want, Quasha?
I want to kill the dead. I want to purge this land of their vile presence and restore order and balance to the world.
Amen,
I want
brother.
death to be honored again.
Do you plan on sticking with us for a while?
As long as we are fighting and making a difference, absolutely. My blade, and you have Root's cunning, and the Veget Pygmy kind of pumps its fist up.
Fake me. Is that Kwapi?
Yep.
Nice.
Ended up renaming him Root because it's easier to say because Kuasha is the actual human druid and then Root is his Vegapygmy sidekick.
Can you offer any words of wisdom to me?
Do not
Since it's,
pee into the wind.
I think I've heard that one before. And don't drink downstream.
That is bad.
Yes. Anyway, I appreciate your companionship.
No, but seriously, what do you need wisdom on, my friend? I owe you. I was almost ripped apart by that thing.
I feel like I'm in over my head. Like I got these surrounded by these great people, but I feel just so naive about everything. Like I don't like dead people, demons. I had no idea, of this stupid death curse. I had no idea what it entailed, but man, I guess I just need someone to talk to about it.
Do you think that your friends view you as a competent ally that will pull them through hard times? Maybe they form the same opinion of you that you have of them, and maybe that they think that they're the weak link.
Yeah, perhaps. Maybe. I don't know. But I do know, who knows what lies ahead. I know it can't be good.
You turned into a giant bear and bitch slapped a zombie gorilla.
That was fun. I had never done that before. That felt good.
And then you did. And you saved me.
Yeah, yeah.
You've already done so many great things, and you have not searched for recognition or accolades. You act in favor of others without the expectation of good things to come your way. That is the hallmark of a hero, my friend.
Yeah. Well, I appreciate those words, sir.
Please, it's Kuasha.
Kuasha. We're friends.
You watch my back when I poop in the woods.
Yes.
We're friends.
Awesome.
We've killed many undead together.
Are you going to go ahead to the tavern and grab some snake oil drinks?
I will attend to some minor repairs to the sister's hut, and then I will be in there to join you.
All right. We shall speak later, my friend.
He holds out his hand for a warm embrace, and you guys basically bro it up. Or if you want, you could do the arm pump thing from Predator, where you're sussing each other up.
Kuasha, you son of a bitch.
All right. Is that everybody?
Well, hold on. I need to do my bard thing, and we're going to listen to a little short verse called The Stand at Fort Vengeance. The dead beat hard on wooden walls. The soldiers shook with dread. The goats screamed loud. The night screamed back as hope hung by a thread. Driz roared once and became the bear with claws and fury wild. He tore the horde like rotten cloth and made darkness mild. One corpse lord stood till Zarian struck. His sword split the night, the killing blow, the final word, and ended death's last fight. At broken fence stood Dread alone, sword set, refusing end. He was the wall, the line, the stand. So sing of how we won, my friends. And that is where I toast. We drank.
And everybody pounds their glasses and rouses and yeah, way to go. That's really, really good. I'm saying that's worth a luck token right there.
That was badass.
Luck token, baby.
Yeah. You pretty much use it before any roll to get advantage on the roll or cause somebody to have to re-roll against you.
See, I take notes about our exploits for our stories.
It's good times. Were you saying something, Logan?
No, that was good.
It was. Let's see. I think chronological wise, everybody else is drinking. Logan's out there kind of figuring out what's going on. How does your patron appear to you?
So his patron has never actually appeared to him other than a voice from the shadows and a hum in his blades. He's kind of, since that's very much his focus as a warlock, that's been kind of his experience thus far. As when he has encountered it, it's just been kind of this disembodied voice.
All right. You hear at the edge of your perception the familiar voice of your patron. Dread, it's been a while. You've been up to things.
I've been achieving things. I've been winning. I encountered, or rather my companions encountered one of your kind, but I think a possibly lower entity, but he had taken possession of an undead here. This has to do with, from my understanding, a currency crisis in Avernus. Is this news?
Soul coins are not being minted. This is true. The affliction that grips Chult seems to draw all of Death's energy away from the 9 hells into a single focal point down at the south of the island. For what purpose? Nobody knows. But it seems that deals have been struck between a powerful lich and the lords of the 9 hells in order to get help. The devils get paid and the Soulmonger gets fed. It's less of a competition now, more of a symbiosis.
But still, there's not enough of a surplus for venture capitalism in hell.
There's everything that's been minted and everything over the island. But right now, if somebody dies in Port Nyanzaru, their soul travels to the Soulmonger and gets claimed. That is not anything that devils and demons can use in hell to garner and gain more power. So that it obviously pissed off a lot of people. So instead of the armies of hell going to war with the lich in the south, a deal was struck where a certain amount of souls would be deposited over hell in exchange for help with the culling.
So there's also no interest in stopping the Soulmonger. If a deal has been struck that achieves balance, or would it be of value were one to pursue and destroy or somehow dismantle this entity?
Destroying the thing known as the Soulmonger would set things back to the status quo, but with the way that things are now, it seems that whoever has control of the Soulmonger is able to print their own money, for lack of better terms. And this buys the allegiance of the devils and demons in hell.
Hence the competition. All right. Then one we encountered, his goal seems to be to raise armies of the undead in order to expand and gather souls for this. Now, he does seem to be, so I'll basically just convey, I'll do a download. My understanding is that with him being destroyed, he'll be resummoned in Avernus or constituted.
When a devil or a demon dies, they go back to hell. They are plucked from the river Styx, held up, and then brought or forged into greater life forms through torture and servitude. The one that you talk to, which is known as Krieger, seems to be a attack dog for Asmodeus.
So in our ventures moving forward, it's likely we're going to encounter this Krieger again.
It's very likely that you'll encounter multitudes of intelligent undead.
Can you give me some insight into how to identify them when they come disguised as in these forms?
Some of my chosen have decided to take up a more militant stance in my clergy. And she basically says, like, paladins have divine sense, and that's what its followers use to figure out fiends, celestial, undead, all that other stuff is the paladin's divine sense, or something to that case. So that is one avenue that is available to you. And again, all this power draws from like one well source.
Right.
So if you're talking like going warlock, same patron, just different flavor. You're ordering the extra spicy, crispy chicken sandwich instead of the club chicken salad type of thing. Right. Like it's all still the same restaurant. You're just ordering a la carte stuff.
Gotcha. Yeah, cool. So that would basically answer the question of kind of what's this information worth on that line. And so my understanding moving forward is that with this competition, we're probably going to be encountering multiple denizens of Avernus in competition for these undead.
It depends on whether or not you're going to the same areas. It seems that the one that you referred to as Krieger and the other one that you fought named Parker have their own missions. It seems that they are sweeping through culling living beings. You might find the fiendish influence where there's power to be had or power to be got. I would think that this camp would be another one. There's other places around. There's the Fort Bell up in the north. There's certain ports all around this area. They could also be hunting down adventuring parties, trying to put a stop to whomever is looking at ending this death curse.
Understood. I thank you for the information. I will continue to keep you abreast of the situation as it develops.
And The shadow that you kind of were enveloped in pulls back just a little bit and then slinks down and then forms back into your shadow.
Legit. And with that, he kind of just waits until dawn to return to his party. I'll use my elf crap for my long rest. So
Trancing it.
yeah.
All right, so I think it's Jay's turn now.
Before the night was ending, I would like to, before I head towards the barracks, I want to find the sister. I can't remember her name. I'm so sorry.
There's Sister Cyril, Rose, and Veronica.
Sister Cyril was the one that I talked to, or
I
the one that
believe
talked
so,
with
yeah.
me. Yeah, I would like to go talk to Sister Cyril.
She's at the tent tending to some wounded people. She smiles when she sees you.
It's good to see you.
It's good to see you too.
Do you have a moment?
Yes, I do.
I'll take her out by the fire, and I don't know. He kind of looks like he's a little nervous talking to her, but I may have had a little liquid courage, and it's been a while since I've had any thoughts that are different than my wife, and seeing my wife of the past, and seeing you smile when I walked in, it brought a joy to my heart and light to this dark and unfound desolation. I want to say thank you so much for being that light as of right now for me. And I would greatly appreciate it to be a little longer. In the morning, I have a very, very difficult call to make on this sending stone. On the other end is the killer of my wife and child.
She gasps a little bit, taken by surprise.
I know I'm going to need prayers. I know I'm going to need more than probably just Horus can offer. If your God is listening to you, may he bless me as well and help bring my vengeance down. That would be a relief.
I can say a prayer for you.
I turn to her and hold her, like grab her hand, like to hold it as I bow my head to pray with her.
All right, she prays with you.
And then I'll say a little prayer as well, if that's cool.
Yeah.
That's okay. Or Doombringer, balance of truth and consequence. I do not call for vengeance now. I call for sight, still my anger, so it does not blind me. Steady my voice, so it does not betray my purpose. If this creature speaks lies, let me hear the cracks. If he speaks truth, let me know its weight. Guide my words, that I may learn what must be ended, where the rot truly lies, and how this land may yet be spared. I will carry the judgment when the time comes. But first, let me understand. By your scales, I speak. And then I look up at her face and see her response or her reaction.
Her eyes are closed, her head's down, and when you finish your prayer, she says, Amen.
Thank you for your time, and I bid you adieu.
Good night, Zarian.
And I let while it's turning, the lingering touch type thing, but just very, very slightly as I walk away and go to my bed.
You see that she's perplexed by that, seeing as how just a couple minutes ago you're talking about the love of your wife and child and how you got your murderer. She's kind of conflicted with where this is going. She smiles.
It was just
smiles gently as you're walking by.
It was the light, in the darks kind of. Because I'm stepping away and I'm going into this even darker darkness.
100% get you. From her perspective,
Okay.
she's a little puzzled.
That's all good. I just wanted to point that out why I said that.
Gotcha.
Thank you.
We fast forward into the next morning. All right. Doodle-doo, doodle-doo, doodle-doo. And it is the next morning. Some jungle fowl are making their cock-a-doodle-doos. It's a nice rousing morning. Still got some goat's milk. Seems like the goats, now that they've got a little bit of free time, tend to stay around, but not as a meal, more like a welcomed addition instead. They're eating brambles, pooping all over the place. That's what goats do, in my opinion. All right. So what are we doing this morning?
So really, we're just kind of, I think we're really just figuring out the next direction we're going.
Oh yeah,
I'm
ready to go.
I think before we do that, do we all gather together and talk to Zarian? Because, say, Zarian, are you going to make that call this morning?
Yes, I do believe I'm ready.
Do you want privacy or do you want us to be here with you?
I'd rather you be here.
You got it.
You
Thank
see
you, brother.
Jaeger and Fred and Kuasha are with you guys as well. They packed light. It looks like they're getting ready to go, and they're standing around there.
Anything you want me to ask them before we get into this? Anything specific?
I want to know who's running the show.
I think that everything we went over when you hit it, so is
Gotcha.
good. So if you can just run with that, dude.
All right. Activate the sending stone.
Sending Stone pulses a little bit, and then it goes from a cameo side thing to a full on, and then the face is looking at you and it's talking. Krieger, tell me that you've dealt with those nuisances and we can move on to Drungalung.
Well, 1, the name's not Krieger. 2, you know exactly who I am. And 3, Rosny, you helped set this curse in motion, but you didn't create it. Tell me this plainly. Who truly controls the Soulmonger now?
I don't know who you are. That can only tell me that Krieger is dead, which means that the attack on the fort failed.
Zarian True Hunter. You know exactly who I am.
Zarian. I'm racking my brain. Maybe you could be just a little bit more specific.
You took my wife and child?
Again, you're going to have to be a little bit more specific. I kill a lot of people. Could I get a town? Maybe a quippy little one-liner that I said? You know what? I do think that I remember you, Zarian. You were the big guy. I think I made you choose how I ended your wife and child's life. Are you on your path for revenge?
The Soulmonger feeds consistent. That kind of device cannot be moved freely around. Where is it sustained at? Is it in a ruin, temple, a tomb, a stone?
The Tomb of the Nine Gods. I doubt you'll make it. Nobody else has. Well, save for this troublesome, shape-changing woman who tries to thwart us at every single go.
You speak as one who's watches events unfold. When the Soulmonger is threatened, where do you feel it first?
You seem to have a different understanding of causality than I do. Tell me, what is the Soulmonger?
The Soulmonger is collecting the souls from Avernus. Avernus doesn't have any souls. He's not getting any souls because of some deal.
You're so close. You've got all the pieces, and I think you're just trying to force them together. And you're fraying the edges of the puzzle, trying to make it fit. God, I wish I was a fly on the wall so that way I could watch you rack your brain, watch the smoke pour out of your ears as you try to come up with one little thing that you could do to try to stop me. But you can't. You're not strong enough.
Listen here. I didn't call to judge you today, but understand this, Rosny. Poor is listening, and we are coming. And then I turn it off and then scream violently.
Kind of draws a little bit of the camp as everybody's just kind of looking over.
It's okay. Let it out. Let him get it out.
And then I turn into a heap of blubbering mess. I just start crying.
So yeah, Dredd does not know how to handle that. So he kind of steps forward and says, you want to go kill something, buddy?
You see Jaeger and Fred kind of take a little bit of a step back when you say you want to go kill something.
And then he'll hold out his hand to help him up. Say, well,
I bat your hand away and stand up by myself, but say, let's go.
Speaking of let's go, where are we going? This is Jaeger that says
T-Rex
this.
to the north.
That's days.
so
Well, didn't one of you get a map?
Yeah, we have a map. Who's got the map?
I do.
Zarian.
We're going right here, and I point on the map to, we wanted to go to Omu, or no, the Asta Yalwazi. I don't know how to say that, sorry.
I thought we were going to the wreck of the airship.
Or are we going to do that first? Well, that's on the same way. That's literally on the road to where we're going. So, yeah, here we go. So, yeah, we're going to be going south, coming down this way, and we needed to go this way, go to Umu or Ots, but the wreck is right here, and then the flying heart is right over here.
You hear Kawasha. Why are we not fighting the dead? Why are we avoiding them? Every single one that we take out weakens their armies.
But
I have a strong suspicion the dead will be coming to us as we travel. I think the dinner bell that we rung will follow us throughout this journey.
All right.
In fact, I think they're our best option.
Have you ever seen a T-Rex?
Yes, I was there when you guys
A
fought
zombie
it on the
T-Rex.
beach. No, I have not.
Yeah, you saw that T-Rex. Now imagine it being dead and coming after us. Not just one, but also a bunch of those gorilla things, all that stuff. That was just one small party. If you look at this map, you can see right here and right here, all of this has massive amount of undead. Massive.
So I'll place
if we keep taking these little guys out it's not going to do anything. We have to take it to the heart. And the best way to take it to the heart is go to the shipwreck and then potentially to the heart. I guess you were saying something about the heart, Driz, but we kind of know that Uma or is where we're going, or down here to the south. Either way, we have to go down this way. And if we can get into a flying ship, that'll make it faster for us to get anywhere and get anything done.
And if we are flying, we fly over the dead. I joined you because you said that you were going to kill the undead. This is the promise that you made to me.
I'll place my hand on his shoulder and say, my friend, you saw this battle. You saw how many we killed in one day. How many days travel do you think we have ahead of us? How many more do you think we'll slay along the way? Trust us when I say we desire nothing but to deny our enemy their soldiers, and we will continue to do so in the most efficient way possible.
And exactly,
you simply need to trust the process.
How Zarian said that when he was speaking, you heard him say, "Have you dealt with that nuisance yet?" So we're on the radar. So wherever we go, I have a feeling that the undead will be following us. So we will have plenty to kill on our way.
Is still acceptable for me then. I will continue with you, but no, I will not take my oath to protect this land lightly.
We're not taking it lightly either. We're taking it right to the heart of the problem.
Then this is why I still travel with you, because I sense the goodness in your hearts.
We are not avoiding conflict. We are still seeking conflict, but we're also seeking to end this nuisance.
So you really think that there's a flying ship?
In all our travels, we've seen many things, heard many rumors. Rumors always start based off of some kind of truth. So if there's a possibility of a ship that can get us to where we need to go to end this once and for all, that possibility needs to be looked at.
So if we're looking at the map and our ultimate goal, say we are headed this direction for this flying ship.
That's like
we're talking wreck of the Star Goddess here.
Yes.
Okay. So for our 50-meter target, if we're heading south, what about this point? We can basically, we can take this down, but if we at least kind of just set an azimuth this direction, we at least know the landmark, and we can continue basically hugging the coastline till we get down, but we have a couple points that we can hit along the way if necessary, or if we decide they're of interest. How does that sound?
I was going to say, what about, I know this is going to sound reckless or whatnot, but instead of hugging this way, why don't we hug this way and try and take out a little bit here?
Do we want to travel to the heart first?
My only concern with that direction is, and this is just me, my only concern with that direction is here we start getting where they're to northeast. You see what I'm saying? That's half of our directions will have undead. And then we have the back, our water to our backs.
Yeah, that's very true. And if we went on this side of the lake and then came down, we could still take out some undead on our way to the wrecked ship, because there is a massive amount. Like there's a huge amount right here. So we're definitely going to hit undead when we get to this area.
So then this point, or somewhere in the southern point of this, would probably be a good point to base off of, simply because at that point we can kind of choose that crossroads direction to go one way or the other, kind of based on how the story develops. But yeah, I think if we follow that line straight down,
I have a feeling that these three are obviously, they're going to be moving towards where we were, right? So we're going to encounter them.
Yeah.
So just so that way you're making decisions with full understanding, those skull and crossbones are not mobile. Those are clusters of dead. Think about it like hordes of walkers from The Walking Dead that are occupying an area. You're like, oh, if I go to this gravel pit, I'll be able to get thousands of these things.
Anybody got a nuke?
I thought they were roaming. Okay, I got you.
No, that's why Krieger and Parker had to grab them and command them.
Right.
Well,
That's
in that
also,
case,
I would also think that's probably where we're going to encounter them recruiting, or basically pulling those. But yeah, I think it's south.
I kind of like Drizz's idea then, since these aren't roving.
We have to clear this out anyway if we're going here. We might as well clear out this bit here and then head down.
So what's the difference between the red and the black? Sorry.
The black is light undead, the red is major undead. So basically you're looking at having a 33% chance of getting a random encounter for undead for the light, and then like a 50% chance of getting undead for like the major. So it just ups your encounter tables.
I was hoping you were going to be like, but that's a platoon size and that's battalion size. Okay.
It depends. Depending on how well you guys scattered out and stuff like that, you might be able to see them and like completely avoid them. It's all up to you guys how intelligent you want to be with this stuff.
That's what I was thinking, was literally like scout out, like while we're going down the river, we could try to see what we can see, how many there would be, do all the scouting
Well, then tell you
from
what.
from the water first if you wanted.
So for today, then, for our, because we can only move X amount of points. Why don't we get down to here?
So
I think we
3?
can we can make 3 in a day, right? Or how?
Or no,
2 on the
two?
canoes.
2.
So 2 would put us right here, just about.
Yep.
Because 1, 2. Okay, so how about we hit there for today, and that from that point we can go either direction. Does
There.
that sound good? Yeah, right there.
I'm down.
So we say our goodbyes, I guess, and load up and venture forward.
All right. Is there anything that you're trying to pick up? Normally, they would not part with supplies, but they'll give you everything at Player's Handbook prices because you've kind of ingratiated yourself. They will not take Lelaine Silverhand's letter of credits because those don't spend like gold does. So I think we might need a new quartermaster on this trip. But I think I remember that you guys had like more food and water than what you needed in like 3 canoes.
Yeah, I think we're good on supplies, but what do they have for martial weapons? Can we?
It's whatever's in the Player's Handbook at those prices.
Okay, so yeah, I'm not tracking the money. What I would like to get is another hand crossbow, if everybody's cool with that. I guarantee I will put it to everybody else's advantage because it gives you advantage with Vex.
I was
And-
thinking about that too. I was thinking about a hand crossbow because
So-
with me being a dex-based person, that'd be a cool thing.
Yeah.
You know?
So Hassan was keeping track of our entire inventory. Does anybody else have what we had?
Yeah, can we purchase a few things on credit and then adjust it once we get those back?
I just don't.
Minor fudging, sure.
So I'm just not sure who, unless it's in the Discord somewhere.
I am not 100%, but we can say since, like it's kind of a fresh start, we could just glad hand everything.
So
We
really
did
the only
have
thing
some
the only thing
in
I'm
the
looking at,
Discord.
if we could get a pair of hand crossbows, one for each. Well, I've got one already, but I'll get my extra. But we'll get the other one for Zarya, and then basically it'll be like I'll teach him I'll gift it, teach him how to shoot it while we're doing it. I mean, obviously you can do it, but
Light crossbows, 25 gold pieces, and then I believe that there are arrows or crossbow bolts.
does it have hand crossbows? These might be different.
It does. Chapter 6 of the Player's Handbook is equipment.
Yep.
And I'm looking at light crossbow, which is 25.
Ooh, hand crossbows are 75.
Yeah, hand crossbows are 75.
Okay, I don't think we have 150 gold, or do we? I don't know how much we have.
I've got 24.
Yeah. Well, in that case, I'm good. Never mind.
That's a lot
Gotcha.
of gold.
I've still got one.
And you are good on that. Anybody else looking for anything?
I'm looking right now.
Yeah, same.
Sorry.
It's all good. We can kind of do this in the little timey-wimey of I'm going to progress the stuff forward, but know that like you can always have like your finger on the chess piece and be like, oh, I actually like bought this using money. So
Tracking.
first day's adventures, let's get a party leader. Give me a 1d6.
Where's that player's handbook? I'm sorry.
Yeah.
It's the Player's Handbook or the free quick start rules, or if you click on your character sheet, you can actually add equipment. You can take a look in there and it'll tell you what the stuff is.
That would be a 1, sir.
Okay, so as you are going through, you hit about the first part of the night and you see it. You've just pushed out into the Aldani Basin where everything is just cattails and weeping willows throughout there. And then you see the sun glinting off of a giant, shiny, almost pearlescent shell. And then it kind of focuses your attention in, and you see what look like 2 lobster people walking alongside of this thing as it slowly moves off into the distance. And then almost not even being able to see it, you see the opaqueness of a Lehman's tiny hut close to the wood blind. Think about it like a duck blind, but everybody knows what a tiny hut is.
Well, you don't see that every day. Lobster people. I will turn to our esteemed guide and point and kind of raise an eyebrow, because Dread's not big on words.
Takes a look. Seems like the cursed folk. They're walking along with a giant snail.
What about that? I gesture, but at the like you said, duck.
The tiny hut
the tiny hut.
seems to be tiny hut. Perhaps it's more adventurers resting.
Well, what can I discern from this hut? Does it look like it's being actively lived in? Are there prints, fire being smoked out? What's going on?
I think the word's opaque, so it's like cloudy. You cannot see into it, and it just looks like a hemispherical thing, and it's set up on the bank. You do notice that there's a couple of like crates off to the side, and it looks like maybe a sled.
Oh, I think I got something for this. Hold on a second. I guess the first thing I would want to do is check the area for traps.
How?
But I guess just is this like an ambush type thing? Are my spidey senses tingling?
You have heard of other adventurers hiding inside of tiny huts because they're very durable. So there could be stuff in there. There's no real way to tell. There's probably about enough room for 10 medium-sized creatures. And from what you've heard before of people using these things as kind of like survival shelters, there is a floor and it is temperature regulated.
Okay. Well, I am going to go check it out.
Where are you going? Why are you going over there?
Because it's an adventurer's rest site. There might be supplies. There are chests. There are crates.
That's not our stuff. There might be adventurers sleeping in there right now.
There might be, and they might need help, or they might be able to assist.
Have we scanned just to see if there's any fresh tracks, disturbances, or anything showing any kind of traffic in that area?
So he said
recently?
it was like too cloudy to tell.
Oh, okay.
It is very much so
Like
opaque,
foggy?
cloudy. You cannot see inside, but you know that they can probably see you outside.
So
What do you
with
think
my devil sight, does that give me any advantage over that?
It is not a darkness.
It's not okay. So it's not a magical darkness or any sort of.
It's basically like yield
literally-
frosted glass. You hit it and you can't see out of it, but anybody else people inside of it can see out of it.
Oh yeah, that sounds creepy and magical. I probably don't want to fuck with that. Never mind.
I was gonna say that's probably a spell.
Yeah, that sounds more like a spell than like a. I thought it was just kind of off in the distance.
No,
Cool.
it's what
It's
we
on the
use.
bank. You guys are about 100 feet away from it.
Just keep moving.
We mark it on the map and keep it in mind in case we need a safe haven in the future.
I mean, it's possible it's other adventurers in there.
Yeah, but
and it has the ability to cast that to protect them from the undead.
As you guys are mulling this over, instead pointing at it and stuff like this, a large tiefling clad in just black plate mail, holding a great sword, like stands out and just starts looking at you and then talking back to the dome and pointing at you and like shrugging shoulders. And at one point you could tell like they were doing like this fisting gesture and then like
I'm gonna
As
hold
we're
up my
just-
hands and start to approach.
you guys are approaching. The sword gets driven into the ground and the tiefling points the finger at you, says, "Know this, you stand in the presence of true power, mortal."
There.
Oh, I have a
Me?
friend you're gonna love.
I feel like kicking it off.
I turned and I said, "Let me introduce you to Zarian True Hunter."
Hey! As applause happens behind me. I said applause. And Fred and Jaeger. I said
Yeah.
applause.
I respond, "It is your lucky day, for you yourself are in the presence of a true warrior. Zarya, true hunter."
Ooh, a warrior. It's been a while since I've tested my mettle against somebody.
What's with the aggression?
What kind of test are we talking about? A friendly test or a mortal
Deadly.
test?
I fight all challengers, and then you hear a little want 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 out of the hut. I don't fight challengers today, I guess. My power is a little too much for you.
Do you fight the dead?
I fight everything. I'll fight the living, turn it into dead, and then slay the dead.
How about this? Are you friend of the dead or foe of the dead?
Looks over. Foe of the dead.
Well, your enemy is our enemy, so therefore we are allies.
Welcome.
Can we offer you a meal?
Does not shake your hand, just kind of looks at you guys. The
Zarian flex.
iridescent dome starts to shimmer and fade as the inside looks kind of like a yurt. It's got these beach balls that you can sit on. It's got towels. It's got a tea setup. And there is this weather-worn older human gentleman that's got this like pompous little hat. Think Leonardo da Vinci. And he's got this magical tome that he is like talking into, and it's scribing and stuff like that. And he's like, the migratory patterns of the flail snail, blah, 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 all this other stuff. He's like, well, that looks like it's ruined. Thanks for coming over here and scaring away the things that I'm trying to learn about.
You seek knowledge. So do we.
Oh, that's good. What knowledge do you have? Maybe I can add it to my book.
Well, I'm sure you've seen these lands are plagued with the undead. We have knowledge of the cause of this undead and how or where this undead is originating from. We also seek the knowledge, the means to end this undead.
We're also looking for people that want to assist in making this possible for everybody.
How long have you been out here?
I left Port Nyaranzaru 3 weeks ago, and I came down here to try to look at the migratory patterns of the flail snail. One more. I'm sorry. Where are my manners? Hello, my name is Volo.
Volo, it's nice to meet you. I am Shyla. These are my companions, Zarian, Driz, and Driz.
This is my companion, Power. He is a little special.
What do you mean by special?
His name is Power. I'm not 100% sure that he didn't give himself this name, but you know tieflings. It's a very weird scheme. They usually name themselves after virtues that they exemplify. Evidently, Power is very powerful. As he says this, he kind of like bristles in his armor.
Well, it's nice to meet you both. I'm not meaning to speak for my group, but how have you been out here for so long? And have you not had any run-ins with the dead or any concerns about running into the undead?
I have this foolproof plan called have a really good guide and don't get myself into situations where I have to worry about it. You see, I am going throughout the entire island of Chult, and I'm cataloging the various flora and fauna that I see, and got through some good parts of the island. It's like, oh my God, man. I thought you were coming to get a book signed, but he pulls out one of these manuscripts. It's Volo's Guide to Monsters.
I would love to have a book.
50 gold pieces. I'll even autograph it.
50.
I propose a trade. How about we let you take some notes? You seem interested in the island and the inhabitants and everything. We have a map that we may be able to let you take some copies from that you might be interested in.
In exchange for a book?
And some information about the area.
It's in the book.
Kind of a...
I will also...
Fair enough.
I will counter your 50 goal with the knowledge that we can provide to you from our map and what we've encountered, and I'll give you 10 gold.
So, if I'm hearing this correctly, you give me the ability to copy the map, 10 gold, and I give you one of my magnificent tomes of knowledge, which will undoubtedly help you out on your journey.
With one caveat. On our map, I would like you to annotate where you've been and if you've seen any undead in those areas.
Okay. I'll double.
I think that's a fair trade.
It'll take me a while to copy the map. It's getting late. Would you care to settle for the night? We could make camp together.
This seems like safe enough place as any. Is your companion going to be okay with this?
That's what I was going to ask.
Power is very enthusiastic, but harmless.
I'll turn to Zarian and I'll say, don't hurt him.
Power goes, I doubt he could.
I say, this big guy, as I tap him on the shoulder, I think we'll get along just fine.
He looks at you and he's like, he doesn't even have any horns. How dangerous can he be?
I will pull out my card deck and I will do tricks and sleight of hand things to both befuddle and entertain Mr. Power.
He keeps trying to take it and then be like, go play Go Fish with you. He does not seem to be grasping any of that stuff at all. But you guys do during this time frame as you're kind of like, as he's copying stuff down and you guys are looking through, this gives you the ability to kind of like get a little bit of insight ahead of time. So if you're going into someplace and then you spend a little bit of downtime, like a short rest to research, depending on how well your history roll is done, you can get additional information that you wouldn't have been able to get otherwise.
Bonus, take it.
Cool. Yeah, question real quick. Do I still have my familiar?
Yes, your familiar does not go away until it is killed.
So I want to make sure that she's up there, just kind of keeping an eye on things.
Every once in a while, there are some large birds over by the mountains in the trees, and then Kitty lets you know that they are there, but they are not flying close by. As you cue in on it, you see that they're terrafolk. Referencing the new book that you have, these are basically pterodactyl humans that live on the cliff sides, and they will attack people who get too close to their encampments. They are primitive, as they primarily don't use armor, and their main tactics are to grab you, fly up, and then drop you.
Good to know.
Good to know. I've adjusted my gold to minus 10
Gotcha.
for my 20 bar.
So you got 14.
Correct.
Yeah, Volo
Yeah,
says
I
that
think-
he's out here and he is basically cataloging things, and then he's getting ready to go back into Port Nyaranzaru. And is there anything that any messages that you need to him to pass?
I do
want
want to ask him, how did he generate that fog, that opaque veil?
I sat down and conjured and weaved arcane energies into a hemispherical dome, and then I decided at its point of materialization what it was going to be. See, I like not being able to look in, but I can see out. Unfortunately, if I leave this place, it dissolves. Power is my bodyguard, handles my light work. I was looking at the migratory patterns of the flail snail. You see, it's got interesting properties. I was seeing if they could be utilized in defense.
What about the properties makes it interesting? What sticks out to you?
Well, have you heard about the flail snail's shell?
I think I have, but it's very foggy. Could you remind me what it is?
So the flail snail's shell has been woven with anti-magical properties. So if somebody casts something, there's a good possibility that it might get reflected back. That would be a great
Interesting.
thing in a spell duel, wouldn't you say?
Well, I absolutely think that would be a great thing. I turned to Driz. What do you think, Driz? Would that not be a great thing?
How big are these shells?
These
I
shells
would love to have a shield of one of
are
those.
around 500 pounds apiece.
Oh, so only power can wield them. And I look at power and I wink.
I put a shell on each arm and I start punching.
I think he's my favorite character.
I yell into the night, "Fear me, night, fear my power."
Okay. Oh, sorry.
I'm just
great.
really happy that you brought
Um,
Bolo into this, bro. Not gonna lie.
Yeah.
Super stoked about that.
That was fun.
Totally random encounter. That's what that one was.
I guess we just send like an update back to our sponsor.
Well, I tell you what we can do is, since it's 8:30 right now, you guys can work on the information that you're going to send back for the next time. And we'll work on that. We'll look at picking up either the next morning or like passing time. If you still want to talk to Volo, this also gives you a little bit of time to like ask some questions and stuff like that.
Yeah, absolutely.
Zarian arm wrestle power.
So where are you guys going next? Are you going down south? I pointed like you guys were going to see. Like, I definitely have this thing.
Well, did his annotations on our map reveal anything to either the east or to either side going down the water?
Yeah, why don't we show him the map? See if we can.
That's one of the things that he's copying is the map.
Has he ever seen this much of the map open up? Like,
No.
That's my real question.
Not since the ancient philosopher and cartographer Gugel, who was really good at maps, way better than the Appel map maker. So he's very impressed with what you have so far, and this should definitely give you a good time down. And he is amazed that you guys know where Ohm is. It seems that city had fallen a very long time ago, and that if you're going to be going into the city of Ohm, that you should figure out how you're going to get down a sheer cliff.
I've got it covered.
I say we go down this way.
The
I feel
heart-
like we need to have a feather and have feather fall for real.
Well, we might have a ship.
The heart's very
Thing.
interesting. Which way are you guys going? What should I plan for the next time?
So I think we're going to take the eastern route, southeast route.
Down this way?
Yeah.
So if you guys are gonna like get close to the heart, I'll prepare the heart, and then also
we are going that way.
possibly.
Oh, I don't know.
You don't
I thought
have
we
to
were
make
gonna go
the
to the wreck
determination
first.
now. We got another 2 weeks.
Well, this
I'm-
way. we're
I'm
gonna
just
go
saying,
down.
I'm scared. I'm scared.
Well, we got to clear some of the dead out, and I figured that's a small horde,
This
possibly
one right
there.
here.
Yeah, that makes sense.
And then get Quash's fix on.
Oh, dang. I hope
And
there's
Zarian
not
can
like
get some more kills under his belt.
Oh,
yeah, that'd be awesome. So this guy over here, pointing at Jaeger, doesn't think we're gonna be killing anything.
so our next stop would be,
Yeah,
again, we're just jumping 2 days. I think would probably be at the edge of this point here.
We're going to do like Oregon Trail. I'm going to have you guys roll for random encounters for the times that you're moving. It could be a possibility that you guys move like 100 miles before you get a random encounter, or you could wind up like at the heart and then we pick up from there. It all depends on what's going on. I just need to know what I need to prepare. So it looks like what I'm going to prepare is I'm going to read up on the heart. I'm going to read up on the wreck of the Star Goddess a little bit more. And then I'll have some pre-made encounters for you guys in case there's combat, exploration, or role-playing.
So for the travel, are those survival checks? I'm assuming?
Kawasha is your guide, so you're not going to have to make them. That was part of
Okay.
the thing is if you had Kawasha, he was going to basically auto-pass the stuff. And then you guys were good at basically saying, like, don't worry, we're still going to kill undead. Because he could have, like, Mass Effect, like, your party dislikes this and then been like, I'm out of here. We're not doing what I want to do.
Nice reference to Mass Effect. I like it.
It was a really good game.
Freaking love that trilogy. Looks like there's an earthquake right there.
Oh no.
Some of the stuff you might be able to check out. But if you guys are good with that, I say that's where we'll hit it from there.
Yeah, sounds good to me.
Yeah, dude. That was a good session.
All right.
Yeah.
Well, our group likes to people we meet. We just
That's why I put these people in here. If you guys wanted to
Role-playing,
talk
baby.
to them, yeah.
Yeah.
that's great.
I will give
no,
bonus inspiration to anybody who can figure out where I ripped off power.
Was that the
Free guy?
Simpson, the Max Power Simpson episode?
No.
Oh,
There
Free guy?
is a character in popular culture called Power.
oh
I don't
shit.
know.
All right.
Come on, Ford.
I don't know everything. Come on. One thing I do want to ask, maybe beginning of next session, is ask Zarian if he knew what the piece was that we were missing when he talked to.
Oh, the puzzle piece.
Well, he said you got all the pieces that you don't know how they fit. So I was
Meaning
just
we've
wondering.
got the picture run.
Yeah, so I'm wondering if the group knew what the hell he was talking about. That's what I wanted to ask.
So I
would
think
say
it
that
has
the
to.
group would know that you guys, there's a lot of things that you've heard, a lot of terminology. You've heard Acerak, Soulmonger, Avernus, Asmodeus, all these things, but you're not, like, different people have told you different things about how everything's working together. But when Zarian presented that to Rosny, you conveyed it in a way that he knew that you didn't know what you were talking about. It's kind of like somebody trying to bluff baking a cake. You're like,
Like saying you cooked it before you mixed it.
yeah, exactly.
So
Like-
perhaps our order of hierarchy could be wrong, or the purpose of what it is wrong.
Or, like where the souls are originating from, where they're going, how they're being traded.
Well, I know that there's demons involved, which means that you can maybe believe about 10% of what's being said.
You also have tomorrow morning or the next time we play, you'll have another use on that sending stone. So maybe you'll have some more pointed questions to ask. I thought you were going to like call him out, be like, meet me at the steps of the temple.
So that prayer was to take me away from the vengeance side of it and actually go like because we need to get down to, it's not just about him. It's not just about my revenge. It's not just about me taking his power. Like, yes, that's all I've wanted this whole time. But at the same time, I want this death curse to end. And the only way to do that is to get to the bottom of it and to look at it through a different lens. And that's why I did the prayer the way I did.